Hi all, right back with more of the other side of the hill. So this is part 54. Yeah, so same day, although a bit later than I'd hoped. So whether I get much done here or not, we shall see. Still haven't had a reply to my question. My question being, we retreated that AG head from this area to that area, and as you read the rule, I think maybe just Grant can read it in a way that suggests that maybe you don't need, it's an optional thing to move them into an area, and maybe you can remove them to available pile. I really do feel like I've got that wrong. And not only that, after thinking about it more, it seems better that guy's maybe just sitting there. Well, I'm saying that, he's still going to be questioning Grant, isn't he? That's true, he'd still be however, he'd still be questioned. In fact, I don't think I can go back to that now anyway. Because if I did put him back to the available, he's a 6, and I wouldn't have been able to use... Well, actually, you might have been. Yeah, I think I might have still been okay, but... Anyway, we'll just leave it as it is, but it would be good just to get confirmation in case, for some reason, it has been written in a way that Grant's read it properly. Unlikely, I know, but... Well, not that it's not been written properly, it's just... sometimes read things in that way. Right, let's push on. So we moved into, we're 1944, the spring, administrative phase just about to start, bombing in Germany. Unfortunately, we got an event that knocked our German air naval control down to 4. So we've got to take -1 replacements in this phase. I'm just swinging across there, you see our strategic warfare is at 3. We've got the replacements sitting at 1 for it at the moment, which would be nice to get it up to 4, but it either means then taking a hit on our Wehrmacht replacements or our Luftwaffe replacements. So I certainly do not want to take it on the Wehrmacht replacements. As for Luftwaffe, like I said, also all our other air naval controls are at 1. So keeping that at 2, would at least get 2 of them up to the 2 blocks. Oh, hold on here as well. We're going to have to move this back up. So Luftwaffe replacements are pretty important. Yeah, that's decision made, obviously. So we're going to take the bombing in Germany. We're going to take the hit on the strategic warfare replacements and knock that down to 0. Unfortunately. But, yeah. No, I've not got a tablet beside me. But, yeah, that's what it does. You take -1 replacements. If it goes further down, you get unrest as well. But we've yet to see it being a major problem. That's, I think, the only second time it's ended up in the 4 box. So, right. Done my old pause when I was recording, and recording when I was pausing, and shouting at the dog when I thought I was paused. So I'll need to cut that little bit out. So I think I'm only 3 minutes or so in, 3 and 4 minutes in. Yeah, I think I just flicked across the camera and we moved on to German replacements, right? So, okay, so I'm going to have to go through this again. So I've been yakking away for about 5 minutes or so before I realise. So 3 for the Wehrmacht, 2 for the Luftwaffe, none for strategic warfare. Right, without going over it all again, I need Northern Italy. Turkey's another issue, and probably Hungary. Although Hungary now being back in rough is nice. What I was saying while I was paused was about, well, what's more important? You would think Northern Italy is more important, and it probably is, because it then cuts off Belgium, Holland, southern France, Denmark, Norway, and Spain for that matter, and northern France, southern France. It cuts off all the areas if they happen to take Northern Italy. It's got this +1. It's really important to hold that. So yeah, even thinking about it that way tends to make me think it's far more important than Turkey. But What I was reminding myself was that if Turkey is taken, completely taken, then the Allies can attack Western offensive into Greece, Western offensive into Romania, Bulgaria. No, hold on. That's a star. Nah, that's the Soviet. Yeah, that's the Soviet. If the Soviets were in there, they can't attack down into there. That's what that is. But there's nothing to stop the Western Allies attacking into Romania and Bulgaria from there if they control that area. And then that would happen the Western offensive, and then the Soviet offensive, Black Sea would attack in there as well. So this would get attacked twice. So that's why Turkey is quite important. But looking at that, this is far more important, isn't it? And in fact, we want to be as strong as possible in there, and then gradually, well, we can't. The thing is, I can't back out of there, can I? Well, you can if these get disputed. For instance, Spain here is disputed, so I mean, I don't need to keep that army there. But I want to try and hold there, cause it's in rough. See if Marseille had been a rough sector, I probably would move that army back into there. I think. Yeah, I think I would. But and then as for all these areas at the moment, the partisan does trigger. So I've got to keep one army in all of them. Okay, so yeah, I suppose I'm thinking about being able to move. Yeah, we could move the army out of Spain, but like I've said, Barcelona's rough. Seems like a better place to be. Okay, so 3 points to spend. No reduced armies in the pool at the moment. So to get a reduced army in the pool, we need to upgrade something. So I'm going to upgrade the army in Hungary here to regular. That puts a reduced army in the pool. That's 1 point spent, one replacement. Second replacement is going to be into here. And remember, they can land in there. We spoke about that as well, whether that was while it was paused as well. I think it was. So the last replacement point would either be considered here or here. Remember, I have no reduced armies in the pool at the moment. So, but I think I'm going to go for Northern Italy after all, actually. Now, Turkey can be landed in too, Grant. Let me work out the numbers here again. Yeah, if Turkey lands in Istanbul, it kicks us right out, doesn't it? Well, if they land in there, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to spend my third point and upgrade in Northern Italy as well, then. Okay. I think that's... Well, it's debatable. Okay, let's just go with that. Hope for the best. Yeah, I don't think there's much I can move about again still. There's not really. I need to hold the Eastern Front. It's pretty reasonable. I'm just going to take my chances in Spain again. Yeah, I'm probably not moving stuff. Right, that was the Wehrmacht replacements. Right, 2 Luftwaffe replacements. Now hang on, I can't spend a replacement on that, can I? Or can I? I'm not sure. I think I know I can do it by moving one of the tracks in the movement phase, but what am I looking for? Replacements. Luftwaffe 3.12B. I don't have my tablet here, or we could probably have found it from there. For every Luftwaffe replacement point, the head of operations must add 1 to the air naval control value in one of the front boxes or in the Germany box. Oh well, there you go. Okay, so we spend 1 to do that, because we would be knocking one of them down to do that anyway. It doesn't make any difference, does it, actually? And then the second one, now we're into the spring, so Hang on a minute here. No, I can't. I need to. I can't leave that at 4. No, I just feel that just feels wrong all around. Right, so where's the more important one, man? It's difficult because, again, the Soviets don't benefit from the extra dice. However, any aircraft that are rolled while it's in that one box, yeah, we know all this. Well, there's only one combat in the Western Front, and that's in Spain. However, we do only have one army there. But we're in rough. Yeah, and we're going to get attacked in the Southern Front. Here, Turkey, Northern Italy. Is there not another one? Yeah, it's just Turkey and Northern Italy, but obviously Spain as well when it comes to Western Offensive. So there's 2 on the Southern Front and 1 on the... both of them are defending Iraq. I'm sort of starting to wonder if... Well, we do have a strategic warfare to come, which boosts the Western Front, doesn't it? Yeah, but I'm going to be rolling 3 dice to possibly their 4. Yeah, but there's a chance. Then again, then you go into movement, you could adjust them. So it doesn't really matter. Right, 1 point there spent, and 1 point in the Eastern Front, I think. I think we have to. Yeah, just going to go with that. And like we said, we knocked our strategic warfare replacements down to 0 because we kind of had to. So that's that. Satellite replacements, there's not going to be any of that. So moving straight on to the production table. Okay. So I think we're sitting 1 short just now. Oh no, it dropped to 12. How did it drop to 12? There's an event on it. So 3, 4, 5. Remember, strategic warfare is at 0. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's sitting at 15 grand. That must have been all the messing about we were able to do. So a lot of that's going to come away. Right, it's spring, so we don't need to do a military directive. And I don't even want to. So that can stay at 1, which hasn't really helped us, has it? We have one political directive, and it's this. And I know it's a bad card, and I'm not 100% sure what it does again. I think I got it right when I said that you pick all the USSR areas where a German army is, roll the dice and see what happens, and they can get a reduction. I'm reluctant to play this also because the fanaticism at -1. However, what makes it less playable is the fact that it costs 3 to play. So I think we're not playing a political directive in the spring of 1944. Where does that put us to? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're still 1 high. Okay, so then we have to look at our 2 political directives. And this is the one that boosts resources, but it costs 3. And then, of course, this is that. Yeah, I was thinking back on that and wondering... Well, I don't think I should have even played that last time. Because there was no way I was avoiding that event coming and knocking it back down again. Because we played it, we got it to there, and then we knew that event was coming. 2 dice rolled. Okay, we might have got lucky. I suppose, but we didn't, and it went back to 2 again. So now if I play this again, I'm only just playing it again. You know, it's just like playing it from the start. Whereas, if I hadn't played it last turn, we would have got rid of that event with it. I don't know if that makes any difference or not. Maybe my balance is out the same. Can't quite work that one out. So, but the problem is we've got to knock something down by 1 again. So if we did knock that down to 2, we would be able to play this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But we wouldn't be able to play this, which is one that boosts our resources by 1. And of course, yeah, we're setting the production table before we actually play this production directive. Yeah. Well, if I was to put it to 3, you've either got it. I'm not knocking consumer goods down. I would have to reduce my Luftwaffe to 1, I think, if I wanted to play that. It sort of does feel like you should play the resources 1 though as soon as you can to benefit from it. I'm pretty sure that's what most folk would be telling me right now. Drop Luftwaffe to 1. Ugh. The Project V weapons boost fanaticism by 1. Or fanaticism sitting at 7, which is nice. 8 would be much nicer, I have to say. Yeah, it's a tough one, I think. Okay, I do think I should go get the resources as soon as I can, because 1 extra resource for the next 2 seasons could be important. And not just 2 seasons, obviously, in the next, again, year. Maybe we might lose. I dare say they're going to drop down again, but... So, I'm going to drop my Luftwaffe replacements to 1 and production to 3 so that I'm unable to play this. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is what we're at. Yeah, it feels yuck, but anyway. Okay. So I'm going to go with that. So production directive, we've got it set at 3. Well, just what I said. No prerequisites. It costs 3 to play this. Resources plus 1, and that'll be that. So resources got to 13 now. Right, okay. Political directives, I'm not playing any. Military directives, I'm not playing any. It's not the summer, not a problem. So down we come to spring operations, 1944, strategic warfare. Right, we could really do a result here. So we don't want to take... Well, we take a hit, we take on strategic warfare. Well, remember, it's the difference between the score, isn't it? Okay, so we are getting 3 dice, 1 of which is grey. And what are they getting? Right, draw a combat card, 1944. 3 dice, that'll do. That's not bad. Yeah, I think that's about the best we're going to get in 1944. So 3 dice for them as well. That card goes away. That was card number 6. 3 blue dice for that one, yeah. So 3 to 3, although, yeah, we spoke about this before many times. They've got better chance of getting the hits than us. Okay, here we go. Strategic warfare. Oh, it's 3 each. I'm sitting there looking, thinking that's a great result for us. 3 each. You know what, Grant? You should probably take it. The fact that they've got double the chances. I know, but any kind of event or tank on one of them, these, Grant, or guns, you're not getting a hit. So it's 3 hits to 3 hits. So nothing happens, eh? Sorry, I'm not. That's strategic warfare, isn't it? Right. If you both roll the same number, there's no effects, yeah. Okay. Right, moving on to movement. I don't think there's going to be any. We can't mess with the Naval, the air side of it as well, I don't think. One thing I suppose to consider could be... Now, hang on, am I able to move that? Wondering if I could move this regular army into here and move reduced army back into there. Now that's front to front. I mean, to be honest, I could just do it strategic way anyway. But I think because we're adjacent, front to front's okay, isn't it? This brought up a question way back at the beginning of the game, I seem to remember, that had to get some clarification, I think. Well, it was more so moving from front to front, then changing over to the other front and moving that same army that's moved from the front to front within the front. I want to say, I think Carlos was going to maybe amend that slightly in the rules, possibly. I might be wrong. Yeah, I think it was Martin brought that query up that I had. Well, when I done it, there was nothing in the rules to say that you couldn't do that. But anyway, let's not go into that. I think that's my only consideration is maybe getting. Obviously, it makes this less, but this is defending in rough as well. But then this has got 3 armies. This has only got 2. As for AGE heads, well, remember he's got an OB that's useful, and also remember that Kuklar cancels the special effect reduction. I mean, okay, if it's not in the card, it's useless, but however. But he's got an ability to cancel air. I sort of feel tempted, maybe. I mean, I have just said that Turkey's pretty important as well. And I wouldn't be messing about with generals as long as I've done it. Moved that first into there and then that first into there. Should I? Yeah, I sort of think I will. Because we've got Von Manstein to reroll one of the dice. So we'll be rolling 4 white dice there and able to reroll one of them. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm pretty sure it's okay to operational movement from eastern front to adjacent southern front. I'm going to move that army down. Still 2 German armies there, so the general's fine. Still more than 2 there. And then the operational movement points, there are 2. I've got 2 operational movement points in the southern front, so I'm then going to finish my operational movement in the eastern front, move on to the southern front, and move that from there to there. And because these are adjacent, they can do that. If for some reason that's... I'm trying to keep them all nice and tidy. If for some reason that there was an issue with that, I could always do it strategically by going 1, 2, and then 3, 4. And I've got 5 strategic movement points. I don't think there is. Okay, that's that. No strategic movement. Nope. And no air movement. Nope. So we're just going to have to hope Spain can... they're going to get an extra dice if there's a combat in Spain. Hopefully we can draw a card that says there's not. Right, moving on to command. Right, well, okay, this is quite an important bit. Although there's only 1... no, there's not, Grant. There's 3 question generals in the box, and there's 1 here. So, yeah, some unrest could be on its way. He's the important one for us because I'd like all 3 of them to succeed, I think, and then I'd like him to fail. These are all 3s in confidence, and so is he as well. So they're all 3s. Well, I might as well deal with Von Kleist first. Now, anything else to look at? Oh, yes. Stop. Because we've upgraded army in Northern Italy. There is a vacancy there. Okay, no harm done there. Because we're just moving into the command phase now. So, yeah, that's good as well. See? I hadn't thought about that. That's really important. So we could place somebody quite nice into there as well, I hope. Yes indeed. Okay. But we deal with the question side of things first. So the other 3 guys that are questioned were Stretching across there. Von Mackensen, Guderian, and Hoth. So I think they're all activated. There's Guderian, Hoth, and Mackensen, right? So they are. Oh, oops. I'm showing things on the floor. They are all generals that have been activated. The 3 guys. And then, obviously, the other one that's an AG head is von Kleist. And he's in command. So he's up top here. Right, so I'm going to check for him first then. Now, none of these are dissident faction, are they? No, none of them are dissident factions. So, no, let's not do him first. Because if you do use that dissident marker, I'd prefer it on one of the 3. Yeah, and there's only one dissident marker up there, and it is restricted to how many you have in the game. Right, so I don't want to do him first then. Okay, let's just do them in the order that they're sitting in like that then. So von Mackensen, Guderian, Hoth, they are all the same 3s, and like I say, none of them are dissident at the moment. Von Mackensen, Guderian, and Hoth. Right, so we're going to roll 6d6. Right, I mean, I'd rather they didn't fail here, but if one of them was to become a dissident, it might not be the worst. Although it's still a bump in unrest, but let's get on to the command bit just to see. Right, so yeah, lower than stays in his position. So if it's higher than a 3, he's away. If it's a 3, he's distant. Right, this is von Mackensen. Here we go. He's a 1, so he's okay. So he is now not questioned, so I can remove his marker from the box, flip it back over, and he then goes back in the activated section of generals. Okay, on to Guderian. He's got a confidence of 3 as well. We get a 1 for Guderian. I would have liked. He's a 6 seniority, so I kind of. And on the attack, I wouldn't have been first if he had went away actually. But however, he's okay. So he's in the activated pile though. That's Guderian, so I can take his marker away. Right, finally, Herman Hoth. He's also got a confidence of 3. He's rolled a 6, so he's the guy that was in planes. So maybe, well, I don't know, there is some that's going to end up sitting in planes, so yeah. I would have preferred Guderian in a way, but however. Right, so he's dismissed. Straight up. So he goes in this pile. You can see there was no special effect to him going away or anything. So he's dismissed. His marker goes up here. Who is that? Modal. It's modal that's distant. Okay. Yeah, because his marker's still up there. So he's dismissed. We then have 1 unrest. No black orchestra cards left, so that's fine. And that's that. Right, so we'll go 1 more. So that was 2 out of 3 were alright there, but yeah, this is sort of the one you want to go away, but then more unrest. So let's check von Kleist then. He's got a confidence of 3. What's it going to be? Well, he is going away, so you've got that part of it being good. So von Kleist goes away, and we take his card from command. And no special effect on him as well. And he is dismissed. His marker goes in this pile too. And the bad side to it all is unrest goes up again. However, we did have it down quite a bit there, so that was a good thing. And, well, the even better thing about it is we've now got a vacancy here, which we can hopefully fill with somebody that's going to do something there. No, sorry, I put that in the wrong place, haven't I? No, I've not put a vacancy in yet. Yeah, I'm wondering. Yeah, that came through. I was putting the Second Army. No, this Von Kleist was in here, wasn't he? That's right, isn't it? Yeah, because I moved Von Kukor from here down because I had Von Kukor in there. I mean, Von Kukor would have been good enough in there, but I moved him down. We brought Von Kleist in the hope that we were going to get Panzer armies. Yeah, that chance of that. So vacancy. So I've got 2 vacancies now. That's us done all our stuff. We took our unrest. Okay, so let's appoint new generals. Highest and available. Right, our highest availables are 5s. Although we can look activated or in command with 5 or higher. So I mean this is where I could bring Guderian back, but and there's Modal, right? So let's leave Modal up the top. But just remember, Grant, I just noticed Modal has got a dissident on him. So although his confidence is 6, so he'd have to roll a 6, which he's clearly done before. Yeah, I remember 3 bad rolls, didn't I? So I mean, Modal's not really as better suited for there. He is well suited for there. In fact, you're not just going to put him in there, Grant. We've been talking about it for a while, so. Well, let me look at the available 5s that I've got as well, though. Right, so there is 4 of them, and I'm sure we've looked at them already. But remember, we now have Northern Italy as well, which is defending in RAF. This is going to be against a Western faction, remember. Defending in RAF. Right, so here's our available 5s. That's just against the Soviet faction. If there are 2 reduced armies come out, roll 1 grey dice instead of 1 white. So it'd only be useful there. It's pretty good. Is it better than Modal though? I don't think so. It could be. No, the fact that Modal's an AG head, every time we have a combat in Hungary, we're not going to take that reduction. In fact, he cancels any special effect. So he cancels the satellite one as well, remember. As for strategic events, Carlos did reply to me with that by saying it wasn't intended that was the case, that he cancelled strategic events. So he says, but you could do that, and you're only... Well, he says you're only going to get once a year, and I'm thinking, well, no, not if he's an AG head. You get every time there's a combat in Hungary. Anyway, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't remove a strategic event from it because he did say that wasn't the intention. My suggestion was that maybe that should be written in the rules or errated, maybe. But anyway, this guy, control deployment, change any one result in a grey die for a grey tank. Remember, we're really looking at Northern Italy there. That's not great either, is it? He is available against us. Well, in fact, you know what? He's about the only one. Because remember, this is going to be against a Western faction. And what did we have? Was it only Modal we had in the available? The activated. Yeah. Well, Guderian, but he's rubbish. And List, considering List is not good. The other ones are in place. Rommel's, OB, Von Leeks, he's the OB as well, and Bush is doing his thing. Yeah, the only other general we've got out there that we don't really want is List, but I'm not sure how we're going to get to replace him because he's a 7. We really could do with him getting questioned maybe, so he might go away. Okay, so you've either got Modal or these guys. Yeah, I'm going to appoint Modal as AG head of Hungary. He is a seniority 5. He's already been activated, but our highest seniority available is 5, so he's going in there. Now, his marker, he's in command now. has dissident on it as well, right? But I'll put the dissident, like I've done one Kukler. I'll put the dissident marker underneath, just so we can see the actual general. I can see it's raised, so I know what it means. Right. So hang on, what have I done here? No, these are all available, Grant, yeah. So I need something that can help on the western side. Yeah, this is the only guy I can really do. It's not great. It's not great, but it's something. You know, I could get a grey event. Oh, and saying that, that's the only thing I could get that I would want to change, isn't it? Just the event, because everything else counts as a hit. Well, and that, I wouldn't change that because it counts as 2 hits. And remember, we're only on defence now. So it's not brilliant, but... is there a thought of bringing List down there then? No, I think Northern Italy's really important though. I mean, right now I could change List to here. He's not going to do it in Northern Italy, but it would maybe allow... well, who would it allow? I think out of the bunch that I've got, this guy's the better one. You know, he would be pretty good up there. But then List would be useless down here, but. Yeah, ideally, if List wasn't there, that guy wouldn't be terrible up there, because there's 2 planes sectors we're possibly going to get pushed back into that he would then become more beneficial, wouldn't they? But I can't do any of that nonsense anyway, can I? No. So you either have a poor general in Northern Italy as an AG, or a poor general in Belarus. Yeah, I think... Well, that's the thing, Grant, he's not doing enough, is he? All he's allowing is a grey event to become a grey tank. And we're only rolling 1 grey dice. But it's something. It is something. Yeah, I'm struggling with this. I'm really tempted to move List into here. And put no, it's not Hans Reinhardt. It's who's it? Yeah, Werner Kempf. Yeah, because the bonus to to putting Hans Reinhardt in there is just not good enough. I don't think it's good enough. The other thing is, if we have a 5 in there, it means we can't have a leading general as a 5. Mind you, who are you going to use, Grant? And we've got access to 5s and 4s, so I don't think any of the 5s would be any good come leading general anyway. Whereas if we put List down there, then we get access to the 5s as well, don't we? Oh, hold on here. No, that's just against the Soviets. So I can't even think maybe I could get an extra white reduced army in there and put him in there, because this is just against the Soviets. Oh, hold on. What about List? List might be only against the Soviets, Grant. I never thought about that. Let's hope he has in our cheat. No, he's not. Well, no, it doesn't matter because List is not doing anything. But he does actually work on both factions, but only attacking into rough. So I think I'm maybe going to do that, though. Just the benefit's not good enough. Well, the other thing is to think in the big picture, where's the better chance that List might just go away? Well, you need to make a retreat for that to happen. Technically could happen in northern Italy. It's not what I want to do, but there's no resource there, and I'm reluctant to retreat into there because that then loses me that resource. I've got more armies in here. Right, okay, I've talked myself into it. So for this vacancy, I'm going to appoint List, so he's going to switch places. He's going to come down here. He's not of any use there, and that AG vacancy is going to go there. And he can do that because he's got a seniority 7, which is greater than or equal to my available 5s. And nothing affected by armies or anything like that. List card just can stay in command. And then I'm going to appoint... which one was it? Werner Kempf. Defending anywhere against the Soviets. If there are 2 reduced armies in combat, roll 1 grey die instead of 1 white. So it gets to roll 2 grey and a white. And here, I've got to make sure that there's 2 reduced armies in there, so hopefully I'll keep on top of that. So Werner Kempf... right, let me find... Well, there's not as many lying about. It shouldn't even take me that long, hopefully. There he is, right. Ooh, his confidence is a 2, not so good. Right, so he's going in here. Vacancy comes away, and then his card is now in command as well. Okay, so and then these 3 generals go back to available. These are our 3 5s that we've got, and then we're on to some 4s. I think that's all the vacancies filled. And this is now the time when we can move someday. See, for instance... Right now, I can move List to take over from Rommel, but then Rommel's card goes back to available. I think I can do this anyway. Rommel's card goes back to available, and then so come to fill this becomes a vacancy, and come to fill that, it's got to be Rommel that fills that spot, which is not any good. So yeah, I mean, List. You could take over there. You could take over. In other places that he's just no. No. Stupid eagle. I wonder. I think we could switch List with Von Steupenagel. Is Von Steupenagel okay against the Western faction? Oh yeah, of course he is. He's in that. Yeah, he's only useful against the Western faction. Cancels the air, but I mean he's doing it in Turkey. And we've already been arguing about which one's more important. I don't know. Nah, let's just leave it. Okay, I think that's command done. Axis offensive, we don't have one. Western offensive, we're now moving into. I think I can keep going, although I feel my time is short. Okay, not missed anything. Just looking back on the generals and the armies and whatnot. Yeah, I suppose it's a shame. Well, to be honest, we didn't have... Yeah, but we were always going to... Once we retreated from Southern Italy, we were surely always going to put another army in there, Grant. Okay, let's just go with it. It's not ideal, but... Right, so 3... I think there'll be 3 Western... Oh, no, hold on. We've got landings to deal with, haven't we? So we're in the spring in 1944. operations, and we're in the Western Offensive. So, landing checks. There is at least one landing marker in the box. Well, there is. You can see there's two now. So we only check there's one. So, and the season is not winter yet, spring. Yeah. So I think the fact that there's two markers there, not just means that there could be two landings in the summer. There could be a landing in the spring, but still the chance of a landing in the summer or the fall because there's two markers, isn't it? And you would check both operation phases of the summer, wouldn't you? If there's still a landing marker there. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's do it. Combat card. Checking for landings in the spring of 1944. Here we go. It's a bad card. So it just says landing in that box, you'll see, which means that that's what's happening. So... yeah, I mean, I suppose I'm just wondering if both these landing markers can be involved here, but I don't think so. I don't think I've read that. It's just, you'll do it here, and then we'll check again in the summer, twice in the summer, if it doesn't happen the first time, and then we'll check again in the fall, because there's a marker still there. However, this is happening. This is a terrible card. So, 1944 landing, I've got 18, 20, 19, 17, and 21. So, I'll lay that aside. 18 is Great Britain, I think, isn't it? So, and yeah, we're looking for something that's disputed or occupied or satellite, I think. So, Great Britain's 18, it's not any of them. Next one's 20, which is... Northern France. Right, so that's what it's going to be. So landing in Northern France can either be in Brest or Caen, depending on a die roll. A 1 to 2 would be Brest. 3 to 6 would be Caen. How's that work again? Yeah. So, both of them are not good. And we're going to lose a resource. Oh, well, this was always going to happen, Grant. Just looking at the last card in the discard pile, which was card number 6. 1944, the landings would have happened in the summer or the fall. So I think we got a little bit unlucky here in getting it in the spring. I think it would have came in the summer anyway, but anyway. Okay, so I've got to roll dice, haven't I? Landing must be resolved regardless of current season. Right. Landing is either there's neutral or an occupied or satellite marker. So go an occupied marker. Right. Check the first area listed in the box. Right. Landing is allowed in an area, follow these steps. If it is a home area belonging to a neutral country, activate the country as an active satellite. That's not the case. Okay. If only one sector in there is a landing threat symbol, place a Western control disk in it. If more than one sector, roll a d6 and place a Western control disk in the sector indicated by the result. Right, so there's two. We've got a 1, 2, or a 3 to 6. So 3 to 6 being the more likely one, which knocks us back to Paris. However, that's an island. Sorry, I'm saying island, isn't it? It's not island. River. Sorry, it's river. I was saying that earlier, I think. Ken, I was... island. I'm blue. I'm Magic the Gathering, I think. And yeah, plains is a white colour in Magic, so I don't know. I seem to get that one alright. I think I'd be saying forest there. However, so if we get a 3 to 6, it means we're going back to Paris. If we get a 1 to 2, it means we're going to Caen. But Caen's plains, that's river. So there's there's bad and good to both of them, really, isn't there? If we just end up in Cannes, we're one space further away from Paris, I suppose. Right. So roll a d6. So I'm not sure what one here. Let's just roll. Well, we've got a 4, so that is in Cannes then, which is the more common one. It was only a 1 to 2. I'm assuming it would have been better for us, probably. Yeah. So they're going to land in Cannes. So we got a Western control disc in Cannes, and then obviously we then have to move to the lower area beyond that. Move the axis control disc in the area to the sector with the next lower number if possible. There is a next lower number, so that goes from Brest into Paris. The marker for the landing box, the sector where the Western control disc was placed the previous place a no Western offensive marker. Right, so the landing marker from the landing marker's box comes down and goes in here as well. Yeah, I was watching back the video and it didn't matter at all. It's when they landed in, was it Middle East? No, it couldn't be. They don't land there. Was it Iraq or Iran? No, I think it was southern Italy and then they moved, I think, or we retreated. What I did was I had the control disc and I had the landing marker on top, like I've just done there. And then when we retreated, I moved the landing marker with the control disc. And I got the feeling that shouldn't have happened because this is where they landed. And the landing marker should have been left back here and the control disc there, I think. It didn't matter, we didn't do anything. The landing markers only affect, I want to say they only affect if we want to attack into that area, which isn't going to happen, you know. So landing marker in there, and then a no Western offensive marker also gets placed in there. However, there's worse to come. So this is no longer occupied by us. It is now disputed. And because it's disputed and this is a resource area, we are losing a resource. So that one we just got to bump us to 13 is now back down to 12. But we would have been back down to 11 right now, wouldn't we? So, right, that's the combat card I can get rid of that. I think that's it with the landing. But remember, they can't have a combat in that area then. Now that doesn't cut us off supply-wise. No. Yeah, I mean, you would expect the card to say they're first, or maybe Denmark, Norway. They might have landed first. So we're not cut off from supply in any of the areas yet. But it's not good. And we lost a resource. We've got one satellite army there. Remember, now we don't need to leave an army there because it's disputed. However, yeah, I don't know. Well, we don't need to worry about it until the summer. Whether we want to strengthen the area with an army or not, I don't know. Or if we're able to. Okay, that was the landings. So now we place pawns, yeah? There's one other combat point in area that meets the following. Disputed and Western control disc, and then obviously adjacent. But not one with a no Western offensive marker. So we've got Spain is disputed. We've got, that's only disputed now, isn't it? Well, we can't do northern France. However, we've got adjacent, northern Italy is adjacent to southern Italy, which is Western controlled, and then Turkey, of course, is still adjacent to both Middle East, Iraq, Iran. Yeah. So that's our 3 areas that are going to get checked for combat. Just looking at northern France, there's none of the +1s up there or not. No. It's only when you get to here that's the problem. Right, I'm still not been called away yet, but once the dogs start barking, that'll be probably it. Right, which one do we do first? Spain's defending rough, Northern Italy's defending rough, Turkey's defending rough. Spain's the trickiest one. What card did we just drew? The highest one, yeah. Well, no, it was 19, but that's high enough. So I'm going to go for Spain first in the hope that we get a nice low card. Let's do it. Right, there's not many combat cards left. Western Offensive Attacking in 1944. That's a bad card. It's card 18. Oh no. 1944 on the attack. It's 3 air rolls and 4 dice. Oh no. Okay. Spain's going to be real up against it now, I think. No EG head. Yeah, see, that's the other thing about... Shouldn't you have been able to get another army in there to at least get an EG head in there, Grant? That feels like a bit of a mistake, I think. And you're struggling to find the armies for all the areas, I know, but just the fact that having 2 gives you that AG head. Yeah, but who would I have got? Probably somebody that can't really help. Okay, we've got 3 air rolls. Oh, no. Well, there's no point in the air rolls because we're at 1 on the Western, which means they're going to get an extra dice. They're going to get 5 dice. Right, there is a combat. We have no AG head. We've not got an OB that we need to talk about. So I do have 1 German army there though. Our highest seniority is a 5, so we get to look at 5s and 4s. And yeah, we're really looking for somebody to help. Right, and none of the generals I've got in the 5s and 4s can help. Ah, man. Yeah, a lot of them are just Soviet only. I think that's something to keep in mind as well, Grant, is like, you know, maybe keep most of your stuff for the East. Right, so I've got to pick somebody though. It's got to be from one of these 5s or 4s, isn't it? Right, let me find somebody that I'm not really fussed about. Right, I think the fact that none of them's doing anything. This guy's only on the attack. His special doesn't really do anything either. Just checking that just in case. I mean, he needs to attack into planes, and then even if we were to be doing any of that, it's not. I dare say it's good. It's good early game, innit? But probably good when we should have been doing Barbarossa in 1941. So I'm going to take him. He's a 5. So he is going to be our leading general. Western faction. It doesn't matter. His ability doesn't work anyway. Okay, so really up against it here. Over at the die roll, they were rolling 4. However, it is the spring, and the air naval control and the Western Front's at 1, so it gives them an extra die roll. They're rolling 5. We're going to be rolling 2 because we are defending in rough, but I think we're moving out of Spain now. Let's hope just into Marseille. But yeah, the fact they're rolling 5 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, aircraft or hits. It's only events that can make things better for us here. Yeah, this is going to be horrible. Right, 5 dice. Good to go, Grant? Think so. Let's do it. Yeah, 5 hits. Innit? Yeah, air naval controls at 1, and that's why that's horrible. Yeah, no events at all. Yeah, we're in a lot of bother here, I think. Right, so like I say, we're on 2 dice, 1 white dice for the reduced army, 1 white dice because we're defending in Barcelona, and we need 2 guns here basically to make this work. Come on. Let me get 1 hit and a combat event. Okay. Right. So all theirs are hits. Right, let's get a combat event. Let's see if we can get any worse. I mean, I dare say it maybe could help, but here we go. Tito, that's a bad one. That's a bad one, I remember that. If Yugoslavia is not a conquered area, discard the card. It is a conquered area. Wehrmacht replacements -1, then it goes to the new year. Oh. Salt into the winds. So that goes there. Tito goes to come back next year. No goodie. And no help at all with our result here, which is going to smash us to pieces. So that's the event done. So 5 hits to 1 is a deficit of 4. Oh my. This is horrible. So, right, let's make sure we're going about this right. So it's 4 hits. Axis is a defender. It's a defeat. For every hit in the difference, activated in an army group must apply 1 retreat or 1 reduction. Am I not right saying I can only retreat 3 areas anyway? This is horrendous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 4 hits. And I can only retreat. Where does it tell me? Definitely says somewhere. Retreat. I'll be under retreat, I would think. Somewhere. Elimination and reduction. No, that's not relevant. Retreat restrictions. As a result, this is on page 29. As a result of a retreat, an Axis-controlled disk may be moved up to a maximum of 3 sectors. If there are unsatisfied hits after an Axis-controlled disk is moved 3 sectors, any remaining hits must be satisfied as reductions. Ignore any hits that cannot be satisfied as retreats or reductions. So, we retreat 1, well, we take a reduction, and then we retreat 1, 2, 3 back into Frankfurt. Yeah, that's it. That's all we can do. So that goes away. Back to the pool. We retreat 3 steps. 1, 2, 3 into Frankfurt. Now I'm assuming that resource is only going to get lost if we lose Frankfurt, okay? So I can chuck that other disc away. That's to satisfy the 4 hits between the two of us. This moves forward into Barcelona. And Spain becomes Western controlled. The resource was already lost there. We didn't retreat an army, and then because we retreated through northern France. Now, oh no, it's okay, that's fine. So the Western controlled us would move into Marseille and then into Metz, making this disputed now as well. This is not a resource area as well, so that's fine. So that takes care of all the hits regarding that side of things, anyway. However, so I think everybody's going to get questioned here, aren't they? There will be as well. So if at least 1 retreat or 2 reductions are applied, if more than 1 retreat or 2 reductions are applied, yeah, we had more than 1 retreat. We retreated 3. Then we also flip the head of the OB. So we're going to flip the AG head, the leading general, and the OB. With no AG head, we did have a leading general. So Eric Hopner is going to be questioned. Let me find his marker quickly, hopefully. There he is. Right, okay. So Eric Hopner goes up here questioned. I could put his card back as well. He's been activated. He can go in here. And then there's no EG head, but the OB of the Western OB West is Von Weeks. So he is now questioned as well up there. Hopefully I can remember that one. But he's in the command generals as well. And that's it. That's that combat done. An hour and 1 minute. So I can hear dogs barking, so I think I'm going to have to go. That was horrible. But yeah, just shows you what can happen. It was a bad card, but however, Spain with its one army was eventually going to come up against it. I think we got lucky. We probably held out pretty well, but that was a big pushback, wasn't it? So now we're sitting with a satellite army in southern France. Still no room for a vacancy, obviously. Needs German armies, but now they're starting to push us. Right, okay. I'm at an hour and 2 minutes there as well. I've still got two Western offensives to look at, check for combat, so I better leave it there, even if I don't need to go just now. It's an hour, so I can come back to the rest of that later. Okay, cheers.